Icon versus eBay, Loeb versus Sotheby's, Ackman versus everybody. So much talk about the personalities of activist investors, but what about the substance of what they're actually doing? I'm here with Stephen Foley today, and Stephen, last week you wrote that what we see in the headlines isn't always necessarily what matters. Actually, what matters now is what's happening behind the scenes in the courts especially. So tell us about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of these battles behind the battles that are really interesting right now. There are fights over things like how you change bylaws, about the proper use of poison pills, all sorts of minutiae. But actually these battles behind the battles, when they get settled, these are tilting the playing field one direction or another in favor of activists. And increasingly they've been going the way of the activists.
Okay, although right now it's still sort of unclear which way this thing is skewing, right? Who's
Right,
gonna end up winning?
right. We've got an interesting one this week in Delaware, the Sotheby's Loeb case. There's a potentially precedent-setting case on the proper use of poison pills, whether they can be narrowly targeted at activists or not.
Okay, there's actually something else in your piece there that I thought was just fascinating about the role of proxy advisors and about institutional investors more generally. All right, it seems like they're increasingly starting to ally themselves with the hedgies, with the other activists.
Right,
so tell us about that.
Yeah, what we've got is quite a strong constituency now of institutional investors, proxy advisors, and the activists all on the same page here and pushing for greater shareholder democracy. And they're doing it company by company. CalPERS told me that they're fighting for suffrage, one company at a time, suffrage in the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to make a point here now because I had a post last week that kind of looked at the empirical evidence on activist investors and whether or not they're a good or a bad thing for other shareholders. It looks like by and large they are, that when activists get involved, the target companies usually have a share price bump. That's not unexpected, right, but it actually tends to hold over time. One exception is when the activists try to get too involved in the operational side of the company rather than the things they know well: financial engineering, capital structure, management, changes, board changes, spin-offs, things like that. When they actually try to get involved in running the company itself, things don't go quite as well.
Which by the way, is the thing they're trying to do more of. Less of the financial engineering, more of the operational side. That's their pitch now.
So I guess we'll find out what happens over time. So anyways, that's it. We're done.